Well, I'm joined now by Loyau-Kennett, the woman who confronted one of the two suspects in Woolwich that day. And in Bury is Steve Fitt, the standard bearer at the funeral of drummer Lee Rigby today. And Steve Fitt, let me come to you first. I mean, what were your thoughts during this funeral?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Ingrid for what she did on the day for Lee. And but my thoughts on the funeral today, I'd like to thank the people of Bury and all the service Fusiliers and the ex-Fusiliers, because we say once a Fusilier, always a Fusilier. But it was a very emotional because I had to be in the regimental church, which is behind me, standing at the side of the coffee with the regimental standard, along with the regimental standard from our quarters in the Tower of London.
It's a little time that has passed since Lee Rigby was murdered. Do you think that gave people time to process in any way what's happened, or is it still just incomprehensible?
It's still incomprehensible, really. When you join the forces, you expect to go on active service, and you know you could be killed in active service, but you don't expect it on the streets of your home country.
Do you think something has changed now? That this was a turning point, if you like, for how British servicemen and women need to think of their own safety and the threats to their lives?
Well, we've always had to think of our own safety because I served 12 years in the forces. My time was spent mainly in Northern Ireland, and even when we were over here, we had to check our cars every morning before we went into them. So the servicemen are aware, and servicewomen are aware of insecurity, and you get various stages heightened of security, and when it reaches a certain level, you've got to increase your own personal security.
The Rigby family clearly wanted purely peaceful responses to the terrible events of that day in Woolwich. It's very early, obviously, in the development of this incident in Tipton today, but it appears that a nail bomb has gone off outside a mosque. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I didn't hear of this till a few minutes ago, and really I'm shocked because everybody of all religions was asked by their leaders not to take any reprisals, and as you say, even by the Rigby family.
Well, Steve Fitt, thank you. Ingrid Loyau-Kennett is with me here, and Steve Fitt obviously thanked you for what you did that day. I mean, when you look back on that day, how did you feel about the funeral as you saw that right now?
Well, like every funeral, of course, it was a sad moment, but in Christianity, we have this belief that people who die young are special, have a special soul. So, of course, this man obviously has one, and it was great. He was buried in church and welcome there. And I've got the feeling this son will have a superb guardian angel for the rest of his life. That was what I was thinking of him, mostly.
And how do you feel about what happened to you and what you did, how you responded? Does it make sense to you now?
What I did, yes. Why it happened, who can explain murder, really? It's, again, like said the gentleman, we don't expect to die in your own country. As a soldier, you feel safe. So it might have been, yeah, it's a shock. It's still a shock, and I think it will always be a shock.
How do you want people to respond to what happened and to think of you as well?
Think of me or give me a job as a translator, I'll be delighted. Apart from that, for those who think they are doing a good job by attacking terrorists, they think they are attacking terrorism by attacking Muslims. They are the terrorists themselves. They are very wrong. They are scaring, terrorizing innocent people, the soft Islam, the true one. And if they go away, the fanatics will come in. And that's exactly what they want. They're doing the work of the extremists by attacking innocent people. And they are terrorists themselves. So it's to be condemned 100% and should not happen here, especially by us, we so-called civilized and great people. It's absolutely horrendous, awful. Yeah.
Well, similar sentiments from you both. Ingrid
So we have to
Loyau-Kennett
unite,
and Steve
yeah.
Fitt. Thank you both very much indeed for joining us tonight. John.